Time to start raiding the bikers gang.
Ready to get this cop killer?
Their time is up. I am going in.
Good luck, Murphy.
Oh. And of course, knowing that there's an 8209, which should be, you could say, a bad omen. Oh, okay, so.
Ed 209 and RoboCop fighting hand in hand? I can't wait to see how this goes.
And there's one thing. You can find for the drug stash, you can find a motherboard which makes it so that Robo can actually get fully upgraded that chip. Makes it so that, yep, you got a full infinite ammo bullet spreaders. Which suffice to say tell quite well that how potent fire, how much damage there's about to be happening. Although, oh yeah, it would work very much. It most likely is working way better as battering ram. And it's walking, and it even has that kind of, you could say, slightly tilted stop motion style of movement that it had. Oh, that was a quite big and meaty blast.
Way to go, RoboCop! Oh, I can't wait to tell everyone at the precinct how you kicked Ed's ass.
Well, it's done before, except first encounter led to Ed kicking RoboCop's ass quite thoroughly, and RoboCop having to actually escape, well, including that Directive 4 striking.
I'm guessing you're close to catching Spike. Maybe he could lead us to Wendell. If those two struck a secret deal, no wonder Wendell ditched the punks. Anyway, be careful in there. I wouldn't be surprised if that slime had more tricks up his sleeve.
No, actually, when I look about it, RoboCop in RoboCop 2 does the electric shock thing to his to clear his head from all the bizarre instructions he's been giving to his mind. But he still can recite those calls. Is it something that they have been reprogrammed into RoboCop's mind, or is it something that he just personally has wanted to restore there as a reminder of what his basic duties are? Of course, Alex Murphy most likely would not have needed any of that kind of prime directive computer programming, as well, he was very dedicated, diligent police officer, honest and hardworking. But just stomping around. Oh, there you are. So with a fully automatic infinite bullets, you could call it this, I think the word for such thing is called game breaker. Knowing that you can just spray lead everywhere. Of course, okay, it ain't instant kill lead, but it is very lots of lead. So things like conservation of ammo and that kind of perils just no longer apply. So yeah, it's quite ludicrously effective combination. But although I'm quite certain that completely aware of it, that how effective combination it could be.
There's gotta be a way out of this.
Doesn't seem much of... Well, he's about to be under arrest or suffer resisting
Can't end
arrest.
like this.
Murphy,
Yeah.
you got the cop killer.
You decided to trespass on our turf, and that shit doesn't fly with us.
What's that noise?
That's bad.
Have 20 seconds to comply.
The situation is under control.
You now have 15 seconds to comply.
Stand back.
I'll do one better, cop. I'm out of here.
You now have 5 seconds to comply. 4,
I said everything is under control.
1.
Ed,
I am
stand
now
there.
authorized to use physical force.
Oh, that's bad. That's unpleasant. Yep. It's a glitch.
Please put down your weapon.
Hey, what's going on over there?
I am under attack.
What? Okay. Let me see if I can help. I'm pretty sure I saw its documentation here in the precinct. Be right back.
Now, actually, I know there's a little bit of a cheating strategy you can use. Just run up near to it and start smacking at it. The basic pace of melee attack is so fast that it basically gets stun locked, and but the damage is so minimal, so it is slow but very arduous and obnoxious method of beating Edlich this way. It takes several minutes. So I'm gonna... And I had to resort it when I played this with bigger difficulty.
15 seconds to comply.
Oh yeah. But the infinite ammo hack that the game has built, just so much lead. Yeah. Otherwise, it can give quite a nice big fight. Those guns are not for show, and it's tough. But infinite ammo hack and game
The hell
game
happened
provides.
Ed 209 malfunctioned.
Is he still alive?
I am afraid not.
OCP sent us a malfunctioning unit. I bet they did that on purpose. And what about the other cop killer? Where did Spike go?
Wherever he went, justice will find him.
Well, that went well. And that was also our first boss fight.
I am looking for a female officer who arrived yesterday with a gunshot wound.
You need to be a little more specific, honey.
Her name is Lewis. She is in a coma.
Second floor. Take the elevator.
At least Detroit Police Department, or at least OCP, seems to have some sort of deal with American healthcare systems that the officers don't need to worry about that how badly their personal economy goes to hell from being injured in line of duty.
But there's so much room in there, and we're all cramped up in this little space.
Sir, please calm down.
But it would be stomping around in officer hospital right here. They put a camera. We made camera into quite nice height.
Murphy, she's right in here.
Another visitor? She's in a stable condition. You know, some think that people in her state can hear what's happening around them even if they don't respond. Why don't you try talking to her? Now, I'll leave you two alone.
Oh,
Hello, Lewis. Allow me to update you on our case. I know you would hate to be behind on the investigation. I found Officer Briggs. He is dead. Wendell Antonowski has the street vultures collecting bodies. His intent is not clear. I opened your present. It helped. Thank you. I could really use your advice, Lewis.
Take the body downstairs.
But there's no more room in the morgue.
Didn't you hear someone stole a bunch of bodies over the weekend?
A corpse thief? What is this world coming to?
Lewis, you always find a way to help.
Now, I wonder, is Lewis in bad shape because of her injuries or because she's in a medically induced, basically artificial coma because of her surgical operations required? But apparently not only Street Gang is stealing stuff, it also seems to be somebody else stealing stuff. Corpse, dead bodies. Oh, somebody admires Lewis. Well, then again, not much to call it. She looks nice, but it's even more impressive that it's her basically courage and integrity, which is the, you could say, the part of...
I've got 40 pow.
Course VFib. Okay, we gotta shock him.
Let's get the ambu bag.
Stand clear. Shock him.
Clear.
All right, no pulse. Let's go intracardiac epinephrine.
Okay, everybody, clear.
Stand clear. All right, I think that's all we can do. Let's call it. What's the time?
6:15.
That was those lines were directly raised from original RoboCop, but they were not used the sound. They did not use, of course, use the original sound bites because of that has heavy soundtrack music and all that.
RoboCop, what a surprise!
But this is a room where RoboCop has been before, as a customer. Oh. Oh, brain thief, the little stuff.
I'm guessing you're here about the missing bodies? No one from the police has come to
Plot
talk
is
to us
thickening.
yet. I suppose you are preoccupied with the living rather than the dead.
Tell me about the case.
Usually, we're pretty packed. There are even some bodies that have been here since Christmas. But a couple of nights ago, someone broke into the hospital and stole 30 of them. It's been a blessing in disguise, really. We've got so many unclaimed bodies that I feel like I'm starting to form relationships with them.
Is there any link between the bodies?
Actually, there is. Our thieves were very picky. All of the corpses had their brains intact. They didn't take a single corpse that had documented brain trauma. I've got to say, they were very thorough.
Anything else?
That's it for me, but talk to the security guard in the lobby. He should know more. Now that I'm looking at you, didn't I work on you? I recognize that jawline.
Now, I don't know. I don't. That's kind of interesting little quip they added there. But I really don't. There's a long time. I really don't remember that they even showed pathologists operating on Alex Murphy on Murphy in his little dead scene, which is a very effective, harrowing moment. But things are going on. Strange things going on.
Finally. I've been calling you guys for the past 2 days.
And I would guess that if this would be a film with somebody like Bryan Cranston with those very would be perfect for this short role, because he looked quite pathetic wearing mustache in Breaking Bad.
Sure, I know I'm just a security guard, but I know how you operate. I've seen the shows, so let me break it down for you the way you'd understand. I estimate the incident occurred at around 300 hours. Multiple perps entered the GMH from the east and then proceeded to the BLE. Then most likely used the EFS to get down to the MORGUE.
What can you tell me about the perps?
We caught their leader.
You caught him? Where is he?
Oh, I mean on camera. There it is. Caucasian male, late 40s, dapper dresser, if I can say so myself.
That was very helpful. Thank you for your cooperation.
No problem. Just because I don't have a badge or a service weapon or a cruiser and partner or even a bulletproof vest, that doesn't mean that I can't be of help to the police.
Well, he does. He can smoke indoors, which is a nice little indication of time frame, or basically the alternate future thing. And he does seem to have a holster for a pistol, but he might not have one, or it might not have lethal weaponry in it. It might have some sort of stun pistol or something like that. But, well, the plot is thickening. There are bikers preserving corpses, and corpses being stolen from the morgue. Somebody needs them a lot, and brains. And of course, knowing the level of medical technology RoboCop has,
see you in one piece, Robo.
somebody might be
Mr.
interested.
Becker wasn't happy when he heard about your little trip to Highland Park. But between you and me, what you did was quite impressive.
Well, that's
Maybe it
RoboCop's
wasn't
job.
an authorized mission, but it can still give us an idea of how your systems are holding up. So, let's see how you did.
Well, I think it would be best that RoboCop is still actively working. And another A rank. So yeah, RoboCop is thorough police officer. Honest and hardworking. Well, maybe because that's the only option he has.
What's all the commotion?
There would be another of these circuit boards from Ed's brain. Look, it would sound, judging by the sound, it would look something like an expansion card from that era computer, as in to say sound card or something else like that, judging by the sound. Maybe something like a smaller one, because I did hear, and I know that they did exist. That first there was basically, well, there's the motherboard, then you add the sound card to it with an expansion slot, and some sound cards had expansion slots of their own to add expansion slots to expansion.
Officer Cecil will gather Briggs' belongings and deliver them to the family. They asked for a small funeral, so I expect everyone to give the family space.
Briggs was one of us. We should at least do something to honor him.
Best thing we can do is get those butchers that did this to him. I want to see everyone in the briefing room in 10 minutes. Now back to work.
Hey, Murphy. You've been to the hospital, haven't you? How's Lewis?
Unconscious, but stable.
She'll pull through. I'm sure of it.
It's time to hold OCP accountable. This can't keep happening.
Relax, Kaplan.
He's not wrong.
How many more of us have to end up in the hospital or a morgue before we do something?
It's like Sarge said, we need to get the guy who did it, so maybe let's focus on that? Speaking of which, there's someone who might know something. There's a guy in the jail that wants to talk to you, Robo.
Oh yeah, and I really do like this kind of having these moments of levity. Not just not moments of levity and slower pace events instead of being all the action all the time. It gives much better sense of surrounding. Of course, environmental storytelling is a thing, but these kind of little moments of dialogue and are very, quite handy and necessary.
Welcome back, Robo. You have a minute?
Oh,
First of all, I wanted to say I'm sorry that I hesitated back at that steel mill. I already filed a report on the incident to Mr. Becker.
Fucking rat.
As I was writing it, I noticed a lot of opportunities to better myself. But considering that was our first mission together, it wasn't all bad, right?
Well.
There are plenty of places to improve.
That's actually something I wanted to ask you about. I've been getting to know different aspects of being a cop, and there's one thing that I keep underperforming at. It's shooting. Would you mind showing me how you practice at the range?
Yes, practice makes perfect. Let us not waste any more time.
You want to go now? Yeah, great. Let's go.
More shooting range activities.
I love the smell of this room. Should we start? First, I want to watch you practice.
Although I would guess that RoboCop doesn't not much need practice because of, well, his massive amount of hardware.
Can I comment now?
Okay, once you have the infinite ammo hack, getting 250 points for the maximum amount
has
of.
To be some sort of record.
It is not.
If you are hunting for gold trophies, this is you could say the most easiest way to get it. You just have the infinite ammo spread and just spray lead. There should be one more way. Okay, 265. Let's just fail on purpose this time. Yep, that's easy.
I took so many notes.
Next time, do it quietly. Eliminate distractions. Being overeager is one of them.
Ah, so that's the actual lesson. Now I get it.
Is your service weapon properly prepared?
I was issued this old gun and serviced it according to the manual.
I will try it out.
Sure thing. There you go.
Now I'm shooting with a basic service gun. The target.
Is everything okay?
Well,
your service weapon is broken.
I calibrated it. I did everything the manual said.
It is beyond repair. They must have issued it to you by mistake.
Huh. I don't think that's entirely true. Other cops give me a hard time because Mr. Becker hired me to monitor you. But I guess that's the way it has to be.
A cop must be ready. Get a different gun.
Sure. Thank you, Robo.
Giving some harsh but completely fair statement. Daily highest score, 272 points from RoboCop. I would guess that RoboCop has highest score on E whenever he shows up. Oh, and there's Pickles. He's in a brig again.
Why are you in this cell?
I come here to think sometimes. The food is better than in the soup kitchen.
Well,
that is resourceful.
Why, thank you. I try very hard to not try at all. But seriously, I was hoping to see you. I heard what happened to Briggs. After everything he did for me, I'll do whatever I can to help you catch that Wendell guy. He seems pretty good at pitting people against each other. Maybe I'll find some of his dissatisfied customers who'd be willing to talk to me.
It could be dangerous.
You kidding? On the streets, I'm a samurai. Well, with Briggs dead, it probably makes me more of a...
You are not a Ronin.
Yeah, okay. Just remember, if you need anything, I'm your guy.
Interestingly enough, when you look about the setting of RoboCop, there doesn't seem to be much of, you could say, showing of plainclothes investigators, detectives, you could say. They are all basically patrol officers doing their job in uniform, of course, because, well, armor and all that. Well, RoboCop is always in uniform.
Not again. Why am I always the one that has to do it? It's not fair.
Yeah, well, he was the guy who gathered equipment for the beginning of RoboCop 1.
I didn't realize I was talking out loud. It's just that I need to hang Briggs's picture on the memorial wall. It's just a lot. Hey, would you be so kind and help me? All you have to do is find Briggs's photo in the database and print it out. Just make sure to hang it straight. Otherwise, I won't hear the end of it from Sarge.
Oh yeah, and that would continue the story. And I do really like when it's a matter of this kind of, you could say, storytelling and setting, is the fact that there's this mention of memorial wall and all that kind of practical things they are. And there's a drunk tank. And of course shooting range. Oh, but it would be time to go and check the computer room and databases, of course. Which... that's a nice old-fashioned bulky looking printer, or even though modern printers don't look any, you could say, much different. Yep, let's operate again. This time they would be, let's look at the database. They are police officers, and long list. And you can get quite interesting little info, like Officer Duffy was a corrupt police officer at RoboCop 2 who was murdered by Kane, the main bad guy of that film. And of course Walter Reed, Sergeant, Raiders on Duty, badge numbers, merits, Officer of the Year, Department Award, no case file, and of course Lewis, bravery, Community Service Award, Officer of the Year, seems to be very competent, and of course Murphy. Good Miranda Award, Good Conduct, Bravery, Memorial Award. But real strange that Duffy has also that Memorial Award, even though he was corrupt. But now it's just that those are just interesting little details. But there's Briggs going to face what? Well, let's print it out. And let's just do the case. But just nothing any, you could say, extra little practical use that you could just look around, because they could just put up so much interesting little details about it, like the criminal database would have Clarence Boddicker and other former criminals. But the fact that there is still Murphy had been commended from good conduct is sort of, you could say, telling that why he would have survived, mentally survived transition to RoboCop. So much strong sense of duty and great integrity. And eventually it would also have...
I still need to go get his stuff, so I'm gonna take care of the desk, but could you get his belongings from his locker?
And can I... no, there's no way to get a zoom in there, but I would guess that Murphy would also be found from there. Although I'm quite sure that somebody has already gone and found all these, checked all these all that info. that is it really there? And so it's a nice, very impressive, beautiful amount of detail that shows that how seriously the makers took this game. Bricks. And of course, no, not much personal stuff. The baseball, family photo, not much clothes. Dale, Wilcox, Ellis, Briggs, Ramirez, O'Neill, Estevez, Kurtz, Pierce, Olson, Moran, Sloppy, not locking up his desk, O'Locker, Bell, Whittaker, Cecil, there's Cecil, Kowalski, Vidor, Kaplan, Chessman, Manson, Steph, and that most likely is, but there is no locker for Reed. And okay, I haven't checked the WoW location so thoroughly to find out that is there a woman's locker, and the fact that is it something that it would be off limits to RoboCop. It's a other game, but humorously in Mass Effect 2, you always get reprimanded by the ship's AI when you go to the opposite wrong gender toilet or bathrooms facilities, and then in Mass Effect 3 it would be just simple of, yep, you're gonna be locked in here already. Oh, he has his own office, so he doesn't need a locker. And it seems very good and well, I don't say that. Basically, honesty and integrity of police in RoboCop is basically never questioned. Yes, there are corrupt characters present, but not much you could say. You could say, in a sense, generally all of them being bad. They are obviously shown as majority.
You know, I usually do all of this alone, and it doesn't get any easier no matter how many times I do it. But having you share this responsibility with me, it actually helped. Thank you, Murphy.
Oh yeah, and the fact that RoboCop himself has a big whole service room prepared for him, it tells that yep, he really doesn't need a personal locker, because he's got a whole personal crew maintenance crew and supply machinery. Yep, RoboCop does not work completely alone. Oh, Michael Briggs. Severe dehydratation, exhaustion, broken ribs, stab wounds, superficial bruising suggest prior torture. Projectile wounds with damage to internal organs, meaning he was shot. While he was shot to the chest from point-blank range handgun caliber 9mm rounds. No match with any weapons confident to see. Man of death, homicidal. Grim statement. But what is the job going on?
Thanks to RoboCop's insubordination, we finally have something concrete.
At your service.
Wendell Antonowski struck a deal with the street vultures at Highland Park.
A place where, for some reason, we weren't supposed to go.
Be that as it may, we're on the lookout for anyone from this biker gang. We also know what he's looking for.
Yeah, dead bodies.
Dead bodies whose brains are still intact, to be precise.
Wow. That's even more messed up. Why would he need them?
We'll get to the whys, but for now we need to focus on catching Spike. He's our connection to Wendell Antonowski. Since they know we're onto them, I'm expecting them to be in hiding.
They're not hiding. Put on Channel 9.
What in the hell?
I repeat, OCP Bank is being robbed by the notorious street vultures. We'll keep trying to get closer for a better view.
All right, everyone back up. I want you all to be at SWAT's disposal.
Sergeant, am I back on the case?
I don't think Becker will give me grief if I let you go save OCP's money. You're reinstated. Everyone, move out!
Oh, looks like RoboCop is... Looks like Street Vultures are just... Maybe they had a deal with OCP and now they're just getting angry that, yep, they skimped on the deal. And Wendell, what is his plan? Is he connected to these brain robbery things? Oh, but there's at least three Ed to an unit, so...
Look at that. One of the cops was actually bothered to show up. No need, SWAT's got it covered.
What is the situation?
Vultures came up with the great idea of robbing the OCP bank. They've got hostages, and they claim there's a bomb. They must be crazy to think that OCP will just let them leave with their money.
Was there any sighting of Spike?
Not yet. But I'm sure they wouldn't pull such a stunt without their leader.
What is the plan?
Let me make this clear. It's SWAT's plan. You're no part of it.
Then you are going to need a new plan.
Oh, looks like the investigative reporter with a nice looks is doing some of her own
With this buggy brain of
investigation.
yours, you think you still remember how to put the heat on them scumbags?
I prefer to serve justice cold.
So, I think this would be a good moment to end this episode right here. Bank robbery is going on, SWAT teams watching in, and of course RoboCop providing the heavier action. So, continuing next time. See ya.